there were so many Elton Johns that were like, that was his 5th retirement tour, that I was like, I'm going to pull that shit. I'm doing that.
All right, before we begin the show, let's thank our sponsors. First and foremost, our title sponsor, Once Upon a Coconut. All natural, non-GMO coconut water with natural electrolytes and no added sugar. You can choose from pure blueberry, pineapple, watermelon, sparkling energy, and chocolate flavors with Once Upon a Coconut. Stay hydrated and refreshed. And if you're wondering why it tastes so darn good, it's due to a combination of factors, including the freshness and sweetness of young coconut water, the lack of additives, and the natural electrolytes present. And the best part about it, Once Upon a Coconut, 10% of profits go to charity that benefit our communities, including the Down Syndrome Foundation, Breast Cancer Foundation, Leukemia Society. Good things, good people, great product. So you can grab it at some Sprouts, you can grab it on Amazon, you can go online to find a store near you or purchase it right there off of their website, onceuponacoconut.com. It is delish. Big thanks to Inspect All Pest Services, our buddy Nick and the crew over at Inspect All Pest Services, providing the highest quality termite, pest, and wildlife control. That's not all they do. Inspect All can take care of your insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and other home services in Metro Atlanta and the surrounding areas. Remember, seasonal, you get different bugs and critters all around your house, so you want to go with the best in the business, and that would be one of our fine sponsors from day one, InspectAllServices.com. It's the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, with the Aurora Law Firm, best darn defense attorney in the world, litigating all over the United States, based out of Georgia. We're talking criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, appeals, and more. And you can always get your legal questions answered by the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, by getting those to me. And when he pops up on a show, you get your questions answered. So go to thebaileyshow.com and we'll get those questions to the Mad Dog. The Aurora Law Firm.com. He is the best in the business when it comes to therapists. There's no doubt about that. I use them, and so should you. We're talking about Dr. David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. He's got 10 therapists in-house, 3 different locations there in Georgia, one across from Sprayberry High School in Sandy Plains in East Cobb, Marietta near the Square in McKaysville, just outside of Blue Ridge. But if you're not in Georgia and you need to talk to the good doctor, then you can go online and get virtual sessions. Ridgeline Counseling at gmail.com if you'd like to email him directly, or go online to markwelltherapy.com. There is no better time to check if your insurance is any good. That's why FBC Insurance is waiting for you to reach out. You can call them at 888-308-1841 or email them info@fbcinsuranceservices.com. I just switched up my car insurance because I got a better deal at FBC Insurance. They were the people to find it. Perfect for new homeowners, especially if you're trying to reshop those current insurance policies. 5-star service, multi-policy, bundled discounts, and they're going to shop every carrier out there to find the best insurance for your house, flood, storm season, auto, motorcycle, boat, recreational vehicle, or just a personal policy. 888-308-1841 or go online, FBCInsuranceServices.com. Another one of our great sponsors in storm season. You have to talk to the good people at Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia. Family owned and operated. They are a Generac generator dealer, founded in 2012. So storm season, power goes out. Who knows when it's coming back on? Don't be that guy or girl that does not have a backup plan and having power for whatever it be, especially medical devices, fans, air conditioning, so on and so forth. Offering sales, service, installation, and repair of automatic home standby and portable generators, every single one of you. When you become a customer at Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia, you get an upgraded warranty, free monitoring, and warranty repair. A+ rating with a BB&B, and you pay nothing until the job is complete. Call or request a free home assessment and go to their website, poweringgeorgia.com, or buzz them at 770-853-7571. Use the discount code Bailey, my last name, and get $500 off your entire installation. All right? Servicing Georgia and Tennessee. Again, another great sponsor of the BS podcast that is going to come to your aid here during storm season. And I'm talking about Cliff Bratcher and Jayco Contracting. This one hits home for me because I needed advice from Cliff and Jayco Contracting when my mother got a hole in her roof. Now, Jayco Contracting helping the good folks out in Georgia. And if you're in Georgia, you call him this storm season just to know that you're going to be taken care of when that tree falls through your roof or your shingles come off or a hole somehow appears. works, right? They are a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning, licensed and insured roofing and gutter specialists covering all of Georgia. Keep in mind, if you've not gone through this process, Cliff and Jayco Contracting are going to take care of it from start to finish. That means dealing with the insurance companies. That can be a headache and a negotiation, and they're the best to do it. Commercial and residential satisfaction guaranteed. JaycoContracting.com, or 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You give Cliff Bratcher a call at 770-316-3876. Alive Ozone Therapy Spa in Altamont Springs, Florida. This is mine and my wife's wellness spa. If you have an autoimmune, cancer, HIV, just simple biohacking, long COVID, the answer is yes to just about anything that's going on in your body. Most of the time it starts with inflammation, and ozone therapy, it decreases inflammation. So ozone therapy, we are the first and only to do it in Central Florida. That is a live ozone therapy spa. We also offer red light therapy, halo therapy, pressotherapy, PMF grounding mat, as well as naturally in-house made ozone infused products like the magnesium butter that many of you absolutely love. Ozone therapy, what is it? Quickly, it repairs and rejuvenates your cells to the mitochondrial level by using activated oxygen. Simple as that. No side effects. That's all there is to it. It's a 30-minute session, and you actually burn up to 600 calories when you're in the Hocket sauna. We do it the most non-invasive way. So whether you're in the area or you want to travel, book an appointment, aliveozonetherapyspa.com. All the products you can get there as well. And remember, for you two peers, use the discount code BS10 to take that off those online products. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, reach out to me via thebaileyshow.com. And if you are a listener of this podcast and you need any of our great sponsors, please reach out to them. Now, let's begin.
What do we want to talk about?
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Welcome to the Bailey Show podcast. A guy show women love to listen to.
Intellectually immature nonsense.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS. That's BS.
Okay, then, let's do it.
Yeah, there it is. Episode 410 of the BS. That's the Bailey Show podcast. The guy show women love to listen to on the BPX. That is the Bailey Podcast Exchange. 3 different shows, 5 days a week, one feed. Details on jasonbailey.com. Thanks to you for listening. Thanks to our subscribers. And if you are not one, please feel free to subscribe, by going to jasonbailey.com so you can get all of the episodes of the BS throughout the week, not just on Wednesdays, which is your Freebay episode, but Tuesdays and Thursdays. Very interesting one last week, which I got a lot of feedback from and an uptick of subscribers. I'm assuming just because of the social media that went along with it. So if you would like to check that out and get involved in that conversation, again, jasonbailey.com. Thanks to all of our great sponsors. We have wonderful sponsors, the best sponsors a podcast could possibly ask for. If you need any of those sponsors, reach out to those sponsors and say that the BS sent you. And if you'd like to become a sponsor, reach out to me. Again, jasonbailey.com. Our title sponsor is onceuponacoconut.com. Onceuponacoconut.com. Go to their website, put in your zip code, find out where Once Upon a Coconut is nearest you, whatever state or country that you live in. And if you'd like to order it online, you can do that. Get the variety pack. Make sure you get all flavors: chocolate, pineapple, watermelon, blueberry, straight up in your face, coconut water, the energy drink coconut water. And you use the discount code BS Podcast 10 at checkout, so you can save some geetuses, as I like to say. All right. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. There is the Bald Badger, Benjamin.
What's happening, Bailey?
This is what I want to start doing. I should learn my lesson after all these years in the radio business, and you're teasing guests, because the way that this show works, and it's by design, I've always liked the guest joining kind of halfway through the show instead of at the beginning. So the whole show's not about the guest.
A reveal.
The reveal. Yeah. So sometimes the guest shows, sometimes the guest doesn't show. You know, when you're live doing radio and the guest doesn't show, it's a big bummer. And then you just move on and everybody's disappointed. When you're doing a podcast and you're recording ahead of time, you don't want to waste your time, right? And say, oh, well, you know, we teased this guest throughout the podcast. You're treating it like a live radio show, dum-dum. And the guest doesn't show. then you just don't release the episode. But yet there are some good parts of the episode that you should have released when the episode was released. So I'm going to tell you that we're expecting. This is what I'm going to do from now on. I just got this weird. I don't know. I've got this weird feeling.
Yeah, you're hesitant.
We're expecting a guest. The guest has been confirmed. It's a very big guest.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
I have to admit, I'm pretty excited about this guest.
I'm excited too. It's actually funny. This guest has a very intricate part of my career. Like a certain point of my career is underneath this guest.
That doesn't surprise me, and you should word that differently.
But I've had this guest on numerous times. Not like you'll probably remember me, but anyway. So hopefully this guest shows up during this episode. If he doesn't, disregard that whole thing about the guest. That's all you got to do.
What guest? Weird.
I don't edit between the front and the back. It's just, it is what it is. You know, that's just not my style. So
but you do dangle.
I dangle. That's what I do, is I dangle. Let's first talk about solicitors, please. Soliciting. I always get soliciting and loitering mixed up. Loitering is just hanging around doing nothing, right? Bleh. Get out of here, long hair. That's a loiter. Solicitors are people that are trying to sell you something on your property, correct? Or just soliciting at any point, just trying to sell something.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witness is a solicitor.
Okay, gotcha.
And they loiter.
Right. My neighborhood in Deltona, Florida, has become a hub for solicitors. It's very easy to hate solicitors because there's never a good time. Well, there's a lot of reasons why, right? There's never a good time. You don't want your doorbell rang, especially if you have dogs. You don't want to be interrupted because you're always doing something. And probably the most important thing is you don't know who they are. You don't trust them, right? I mean, who goes door to door this day and age and tries to sell you something? That just
vacuum salesman.
I think we've had this conversation before. It's just such an outdated practice, right? To go door to door. No, I find it very hard to believe unless they have some kind of data that suggests that my neighborhood is filled with either A, old people, or B, dumb people. But who opens their door to a stranger and is willing to sign documentation promising them that you're giving them money?
A lot of people.
You think so? This day and age?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I did it for a while too. When I was in roofing, that's knocking doors is common practice, man, which really sucked. I did not enjoy that part, but it is common practice. Hey, your neighbor had hail damage. Can I get on your roof and see if you got some too?
People would let you do that
all the time, 4 or 5 times a day. Yeah.
Roofers are like the number one people I don't.
Absolutely.
Right. Because there's so many scammers out there.
There's over 7,000 licensed roofers in Florida, and there ain't 7,000 roofing crews.
Yeah. Okay. So I have like 2 different solicitors that are coming to my house. This one guy comes often, and they're both with internet companies. One is with AT&T and the other is with T-Mobile. So I currently have AT&T fiber. I've always been very brand loyal to AT&T up until recently, and I'm getting ready to probably get rid of their fiber because it's just, they can't figure out what the problem is, and there is a problem. And I just don't have the time or patience anymore to deal with them. The T-Mobile people just dug up the yards and laid the fiber out there. I knew nothing about T-Mobile fiber. I'm hesitant, but that would be what I would go to, right? There's this kid. He's goofy looking, tall, skinny, white kid. And he wears, the fluorescent, the road construction vest.
Right.
And this dude, through thick and thin, through hell and high water, through rain or shine, walks my community, which consists of about 32 houses, and goes door to door.
T-Mobile?
This is a T-Mobile kid.
Does he wear a pink construction vest?
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably for the T-Mobile. That tracks. But he's goofy looking, right? I mean, I know you can't hire or fire based off of goofy looking, but let's be honest. If you're going to hire a solicitor to go house to house,
brilliant.
What?
Having a goofy looking one.
No, I don't want what looks like a school shooter coming to my door.
Okay, you didn't say he had like a trench coat. You said he had a pink vest. A tall, lanky giraffe in a pink vest? Yeah, I'll talk to that guy.
The dude looks off. Like, he looks really off.
Okay, yeah, we didn't get to that part.
Let's be honest. If you have to deal with solicitors like I'm dealing with right now, which is such an outdated practice, if you're going to hire a solicitor, don't hire the kid that looks like he, is going to wear the trench coat, or, is going to harm your fish, or have some type of sexual relations with your cat. This dude that's coming to my door, I'm looking at him through my Ring camera, and I'm like, danger, somebody help, before I even talk to the guy. Don't hire that guy.
You just look in your Ring camera and he's looking back at you.
Help me, please help me.
So scared the hell out of all our reviewers.
So, but he's very persistent, right? And which I get, and what's kind of cool. Trust me, this isn't a bashing on solicitors. I know it sounds like it, but it's going to end well. So this kid keeps coming to my door, and I'm like, I'm trying not to be a dick, but I'm like, look, man, I don't know yet. And I was honest with him. I said, look, if I do decide to go, like I told him the story, I was like, if I do decide to go with you, then, I'm not going to go with you just because I don't know you, and this is weird. And he's not liking that. So he continues to come back and try to check on me. The other thing that these solicitors do is that when you talk to them through your Ring camera, they ask if you're home.
Yeah, smart.
like
maybe.
Does it matter? And it's none of your business. If I were home and I wanted to answer the door, I would have answered the freaking door. You know what I mean? The other guy is a short little black guy that works for AT&T, and he's got this semi-attractive young lady with him. So they're a team, which to me, that's more red flag than the dude by himself. Am I wrong on that?
Look out. No, you got to look out, and then you got somebody to cause trouble.
Right.
Not because he's black, just because there's two of them.
But this guy, for safety purposes, this guy looks like he could take care of himself. He doesn't need, but he's got this young lady with him. I don't know if they do that on purpose, for whatever control. Anyway, he's very aggressive, and he keeps coming back. And I talked to him the other day through the Ring cam. This is the guy's like, "Are you home?" I'm like, "Baby," like, does it matter? And I said, look, I'm having problems with AT&T fiber, and I'm thinking about getting rid of it. He's like, "I'm sorry to hear that." And his go-to line was just like, "Hey, I can save you money. I can save you money. I was like, "I'm not interested." And then he asked me if I have their cell phone service. Now, I've been AT&T brand loyal for decades. I used to endorse AT&T cell phones, and it just got to a point where the customer service was not up to par. They were not helping me out, and I was getting charged so much money. And I didn't even realize it compared to what Verizon charges me. Like, I'm saving over $100 a month on my cell phone bill, and I've got like 5 lines, right? I got family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady that helped me at the Verizon store in Altamont Springs, and this other guy, Malik, and her name is Mildred. She's the manager. I mean, just really good at what they did. Really, and I appreciate that. Really, really good customer service. And the telltale is the post customer service, and the post customer service was even good. I mean, do you have kind of like a checklist of like what would sell you on somebody?
Yeah. I mean, customer service, believability, that sixth sense that you get. Hey, can I trust this person to actually do what they say they're going to do? Do I feel like this is somebody that I get along with?
Right.
That makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So anyway, so the guy was like, well, do you have AT&T cell phone? I was like, no, I got rid of it. And I, said something silly. And he's like, well, I'd like to try to bring you back and help you save money. I'm like, I'm not interested. You just would not take no for an answer. Anyway, so here's the thing. Solicitors are annoying, and it's an outdated practice, but I do have a heart, and I feel bad because these are young men and women that are just trying to make a buck, but we're so desensitized and we're so programmed to think that everyone is out to get you, and it's a scam, and it's a lie, and it's a hoax, and it's a whatever, it's a hornswoggle, that I don't believe a word they say. So why even have solicitors? Am I the only one in existence that thinks that when a solicitor comes to your door, they're not telling you the truth?
No, you are not the only one in existence. But if you throw a handful of mud against a wall, it's going to stick to part of the wall. So they're throwing mud at your neighborhood and hoping that one of your neighbors is going to talk to them.
My guess.
Yeah, that's all it amounts to is numbers. But if he's spending that much time at your door, he's wasting time for the guy that's going to say yes.
So I went to Amazon. I got a sign. No soliciting. Thank you. Now I got to figure out where I'm going to put it. So like in order to get to my front door, it's like an L, with a long first part from the driveway. And then you walk across in front of the garage, and then it, L's in to the walk area to the front door. And it's just like kind of big area to the front door. I don't want it to look like a haunted house, where like, here lies Fred. He's dead, died 4 days ago in bed. I don't want one of those like signs, like lining up on the side. It's kind of tacky by my palm trees. So I've got this like planter by the front door that I was going to put it in. I was like, that's subtle, but are they, they're going to see it? Shouldn't I put it
right next to the doorbell, right above your "Yes, I'm armed" sign? That'll really get them to go away.
Beware of me.
That's the spot.
Well, I bought the stick in, like it goes into a planner. I bought that.
Oh, okay. Get a planner and put it right next to your ring button. Perfect. You can decorate it for the holidays. Rachel love that.
I got a planner, it's right there, but I don't know if I should warn them well before they get there, because it's easy just to go, oh, I didn't see it. Like one of those types of things.
No solicitors. If you do, this will not end well.
It blows my mind. It's such an outdated practice. I saw teasers and trailers for this new show. I think it's on NBC. It's very reminiscent of The Office. It's called The Paper.
We got to freeze.
Jesus. Newspapers are such an outdated practice. Like there's a whole generation that doesn't even understand what a newspaper is.
You froze them. What was the name of that show? The Paper? Is that what you're saying?
The Paper. Yeah.
Okay.
The Paper. So there's a show called The Paper that's out, it's like The Office. And it's there's a whole there's generations that have no concept of a newspaper, or don't care about a newspaper. Like they're not going to watch a show. And I'm sure that's not their demographic, but the actors in the show are fairly young. So they're talking about, the whole show is based off of, it looks exactly like The Office, and they're all in one room, and the one's an editor and one's
the bullpen,
and one's the receptionist, and one's the boss, and one, that kind of thing. I'm going like, you don't even hear mention of radio. People don't refer to radio on the news, on interviews, in movies, in interviews. Have you noticed that there's the loss of reference to which some people find archaic? I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying a lot of people do. Radio, those types of mediums, radio, newspaper, print, they don't reference those. Instead of print, they'll say, I read it online, even though it might have been I'm sure it was in your newspaper, but people aren't referencing as their source. Even if they reference like the New York Times or USA Today or Washington Post or something like that, they're going to say, I read it online on NewYorkTimes.com. Right?
Yep,
nobody's buying the newspaper. And then when it comes to what was once referenced to radio, people will reference podcasts. Oh, what did you hear that on a podcast? Or, oh, I heard them on a podcast. Or, one time I was doing this interview on a podcast. I can't tell you the last time I've heard a reference, and if you're not familiar, I'm a radio person doing it for 3 decades. There was once where it was only referencing radio. Oh, I heard it on this one radio station, or this one radio station does this. You don't hear that anymore. It's all podcasts. It's all podcast reference. Big podcast to small podcast. Just podcast. The word podcast is referenced. Even artists, they're not referencing their songs. Very few artists still support radio.
No, terrestrial radios. Yeah, it's definitely dated.
They're like streaming now, Spotify. Did you hear it on? Did you download it? We just released this overnight. Go to Spotify. it's very little. I mean, there's country music has always been a very big supporter of radio, which I've always been very jealous of because I've never gotten into the country radio world, in which, probably too late now, but always wanted to do country radio. Always wanted to do country radio.
That'd be a brilliant move.
I think so too.
Yeah.
They take, like there's a very popular, the biggest country radio program in the country is hosted by Bobby Bones. Bobby Bones is a very good guy from what I know of Bobby. Yeah, he's an Arkansas guy. We used to have the same agent. I talked to him right before he got all these opportunities and blew up and took the bull by the horns. Works very hard, very creative. He's got a very good show and a great team. He deserves nothing but the success that he gets. Nothing but nice things to say about Bobby Bones. But he's a top 40 guy. He had a very popular top 40 show in Austin, Texas. And one night at a bar in Nashville, when iHeartRadio was trying to figure out what they were going to do, and they wanted to build a show, and this is kind of like an executive's wet dream, is like, oh, we have the power to do this. So what they'll do is, like, hey, let's grab this guy and do this, and then just pump them to every radio station, and we'll get the credit for putting this show together. So there are two guys in particular, we'll go nameless, that were having a beer at a bar and mentioned Bobby, and he was the guy, and they signed.
He was christened.
And he was christened. That first year was hell for my man, to the point where he had to hire security to live with him because the country world rejected him because he was a top 40 guy. But he's kind of changed the landscape, which good for him. I shouldn't say nobody, but I think the same with rock guys in country, because country has become really the new rock.
100%.
Is that you take a rock guy and you put him in the country world that's got a bit of an edge, then I think that would work great. A guy like me in country radio. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at these country stars. They're doing the shit rock stars used to do. They're fighting each other. They're climbing fences. Gavin Adcock, I wasn't familiar with until this new Zach Bryan beef started. My daughter loves Zach Bryan, but
he's a douchebag.
Social media. Yeah.
Oh,
whatever
God.
you hear from this guy is not a nice dude. I mean, I don't know him personally. I can't tell you because of that, but from what I see and hear from social media, and I'm not just talking rumors, like things that he does and says, it's kind of dick. So this Gavin Adcock guy, who's also a Georgia boy, went to, I think, Georgia State or Georgia Southern. He used to play football. This guy doesn't give a hook. He's just a big old country boy. And he went after him, I guess, because Zach Bryan was went off on some 14-year-old at one time.
14-year-old girl on X.
Yeah, because she had said, I don't know, I think whatever even she said wasn't even that horrible. It was a little criticism.
She said, wow, you walked right by and couldn't even sign an autograph.
Oh, yeah.
She had driven hours to go see him, waited after the show for hours to get his autograph, and he walked right by her Sharpie and whatever. So she said something about it online. Yeah. And his response was, I just played 2.5 hours and you expect me to stay and sign everything? Get off my dick. That's what he said. Okay.
So he could have handled that, right? You've got a responsibility. I get it. You might have not seen her. You're tired. I totally understand that. But, perception is reality. You didn't have to respond that way.
Get off my dick was a bad response.
You could have been like, hey, DM me your address and let me mail you a signed picture or something like that. That would have been the fan thing to do.
Even, hey, I'm sorry I let you down. Hope to see you next time I'm coming through.
Yeah, you just sold more tickets.
That's all you got to do. Sorry.
Yeah. Right. And this Gavin Adcock guy went after him and he stepped in, I guess, and, pretty much called him a douche. So
then he bitched out.
So he what?
He bitched down.
Who did?
As Gavin Adcock.
Why? What did he do?
Zach Bryan climbed a barbed wire fence to fight Gavin Adcock, and Gavin Adcock hid behind his security.
Yeah, he explained it. I would too.
He did, but it wasn't a good look if you're trying to be macho.
But he's not trying to be macho. He's just, I don't blame the guy. Just because some guy wants to climb a fence and fight you over something on Twitter. I mean, that's absurd. You've got a guy that's got everything going. He's for him. He's an upcoming artist. He's well liked in his community. He's trying to build a career, and he's trying to build a good reputation amongst the community. You don't need some dude getting sucked into a fight for stupid reasons just to show that you're a tough guy. I don't agree with that. Look, you don't always have to fight. Like, I mean, you fight to defend your family, you fight to defend your life, you fight to defend your country, your God, you fight. There's things that you do fight for. I don't disagree with that. You fight for things that are right, but don't fight for something that, you're being pulled into that could be detrimental to you. Like there's no win in it for him.
No, but he put himself in the situation. I understand there is no win, and it would be bad for his career if he got in a fist fight with Zach Bryan. But stop talking about Zach Bryan if you know Zach Bryan's got an attitude problem. It's going to end up in beef, and that he keeps talking about it.
Well,
it wasn't just one thing he said. So
makes it even funnier, So was Zach Bryan going to go after him every chance he gets?
Probably without question.
That's
Zach's a douche, but Gavin doesn't look good in this.
That's great for ticket sales. I can tell you that, especially if you're on the same bill, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, that's like the old days.
Promoter, you should build a ring right next to the stage just in case Zach shows up.
Right. I don't know, the tough guy mentality. I know the way that I speak and the way that I talk, I've been accused of being, tough guy or fake tough guy. So, like, look, just to be clear, violence is, altercations is not the route. I mean, we just saw on the extreme level with Charlie Kirk. Just because you've got an issue that you could easily settle by a conversation or a debate doesn't mean that you have to beat somebody up. And God forbid, I mean, you see this a lot too, where somebody will punch somebody and it'll kill them. I don't know when everybody in the world became knockout pros, but you see videos, one punch, people are getting knocked out, and then you hit your head and you die, and now you're being charged with murder. Your entire life is uprooted. If you've got a family, they have to go through it with you. You lose your job, all because somebody spilled a beer on you or commented on your social media. You got, again, and I've always said this, you got to ask yourself, is there money in it?
Money. Yeah, but you're from a different culture too, man. You're not from the good old boy thing. Down south, you punch each other in the mouth sometimes, and whoever loses buys the next beer. You just got to do it every once in a while. Keep people in check. You don't have to shoot them, but you can just punch each other in the mouth. Look, you said something stupid. Here's a fat lip. Here's your beer.
Okay, so this might sound a little hypocritical. I don't disagree with you. I do subscribe to I grew up in the generation where you go to the guy's house, you knock on the door, you say, hey, let's do it. If I had a dad, he would take me over there and, and talk to the other dad and say, hey, let's let him scrap it out in the front yard. Yeah. Let's watch it. And I totally agree.
Good dads had gloves in the garage.
Yeah, right. Good. I wouldn't know, but yes, good dads had gloves in the garage. Is that true? I'm asking you because I did not have a dad.
Yeah, no, mine didn't have the gloves.
Okay, so the rumor is good dads.
That's what I hear.
The rumor
in the
is,
nice neighborhoods, there was boxing gloves involved.
For us bastards, the rumor is good dads had gloves in the garage so you can settle your differences. God, we can only dream now. I mean, like, wow. A garage and gloves, and most importantly, a dad. Is that why I am the way I am? Yeah. So that's the rumor. But yeah, I subscribe to that. But you have to have the right mindset.
Yeah.
Like now, you see like the GameStop generation is where they don't even want to get to that point because they can't. They couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag. So they use the guns and the knives and all these other types of things. And they go to the extreme. So there's two different things there, two different kind of conversations that, we're having right there. But
yeah,
anyway, I forgot how we got there. How did we get to the dads and the bastards in the garage?
Zach Bryan
douchebag. Yeah. Adcock. Never even heard of Adcock before. What a great name.
So this is the second thing he's gotten play for recently. The first thing, he was doing a show opening for like Nickelback, I think, on the Kid Rock tour. And somebody in his family's group had put a drink on Nickelback's soundboard, and their sound guy went after them. So then Gavin saw it from stage and went after their sound guy. And it was like, dude, there's etiquette involved. You know, there's always two sides to a story. If somebody's going to look like the heel, but there's always going to be two half lies and then the truth right in the middle.
Yeah, I always say there's three sides to every story. There's mine, there's yours, and the truth.
Yep.
Right. There's three. Yeah. So I saw that video of Gavin Adcock posting about the Nickelback thing.
Yeah.
And they tried to kick his dad out or his family out for something like that. But you don't put your drinks on the soundboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
consequences and repercussions. We keep talking about these words.
Yeah, I know. Especially if you're the sound guy for Nickelback. And the last thing you want to do is kill the set because Papa Adcock spilled the beer on the mixing board. I don't know if you guys listening have ever seen a mixing board at a concert, but the damn thing's like 10 feet long, 5 feet.
Not Gavin Adcock's. His is this big. It's cute.
It's a lot of buttons, a lot of pots, a lot of knobs, a lot of turns, a lot of chords. You definitely don't want drinks on it. And the sound guy's like militant.
Oh yeah, and he's Nickelback sound guy, so he probably feels like he's in the band. He's going to come at you just guns a-blazing.
Right. Yeah. It's a weird world that we live in. So I got a text from our guests.
No.
I got a text from our guest person, and they were just asking if it was video or audio.
Yep.
Hi, Jason, it's this person's sister.
Oh, okay.
This person's sister is also their assistant. They have the same last name.
He's got to quit doing that.
Yeah, I know, right? Is it video too today or just audio? I replied, yes, video and audio. I'll say we're ready when he's ready.
Or she.
No, we've already been saying he.
Yeah, whatever.
We've already been saying
end of the mystery here, man.
Before
pronouns.
Before our guest comes on, let me give you an update on the pumpkin cream Alani.
Oh, you got one?
No, have not found one yet. I've gone to 8 different stores, Walmart's, Targets, can't find it. But I am hearing some rumors, and Amazon is again ridiculous. So if you missed the episode last week about this new pumpkin cream Alani, the energy drink, it is heaven in your mouth. It is so good, especially if you're a basic white bitch like me that loves pumpkin. Ball Badger's a basic white bitch. We're basic white bitches. This show is all about being a basic white bitch. Can't find it in stores because all of the basic white bitches have bought the pumpkin cream Alani out.
Have you tried eBay?
No, I'm not an eBay guy.
Let me look.
Because you got to auction, right? You got to bid on it.
Well, sometimes there's a buy it now.
Oh, you got to look for me. I don't know. I don't know.
Right now.
So, I go to Amazon, and the only people that are selling it are third-party sellers, and they're price gouging. So it's like $38 for 12 of these things, and then they want to charge you like $48 for shipping because it's not under Prime. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. But I'm being told that if you go to Walmart.com, and I have yet not tried this, if you go to Walmart.com, they have it, and they have it in the warehouse, and they will ship it directly to your house. And if you spend over, I think, $35, not a problem, it's free shipping.
Free shipping.
Yes. So I'm being told Walmart.com is the place to go to get the pumpkin cream Alani.
Now we got to find this out. Damn it.
I haven't even tried the Target.com, but the Walmart.com is. I need as much of this stuff as possible. I mean, like, I'm willing to dig in and spend some money for a pallet of the pumpkin cream Alani. That's how much of a basic white bitch I am. I can tell you that right now. So if you find it, there's a bounty. I'll send you something. I don't know what I'll send you. If you're in the Orlando area, I will give you, I don't know, some type of therapy at a live ozone therapy spa if you can find it. Okay. I don't know if our guest is going video or just audio. So I'm going to pull our guest up because they're in the green room. Very excited about this because I absolutely love this person. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the BS podcast. He, in my opinion, is one of the funniest and best, and will go down in history as one of the funniest and best comedians of all time. not to shortchange him as an actor, because Employee of the Month is a go-to for me and my wife. And that would be, and also waiting, that would be the one and only Dane Cook, ladies and gentlemen. Dane, are you there?
I'm here, man. I didn't know if we were doing, I'm sorry. I didn't even know you're going to throw me right into the fire. I thought we were going to have that 3 to 5 minute, like, I don't have my game face on. We talk about like rudimentary things, like how my dog threw up on the rug last night. And I'm still trying to figure out, do I need to get it steamed? Do I need to get it professionally cleaned? So help me help you. What do you need from me today? Is it just audio? Is that cool?
I would love to see your face, because we do have a video show and people would love to see your face. So I don't know in your settings, if you can just hit your camera, that would be wonderful. And it would be just like we're in the same room, which would be neato.
Just us girls hanging out, Dan.
The fact that you're going to edit all this out is just my favorite part of the entire situation. We're not live, which is the best part, right?
Totally.
There we go. Frozen for a second. Yeah. So yeah, we totally can. Yeah.
Hey! We got him.
There we go. Cheers.
Dane Cook, ladies and gentlemen. Brother. Let me start with this. Please, let me start with this. So I know you don't have
real quick. Wait, let me start.
Yeah, you
okay. This is gonna be a cluster. This is not gonna be easy. So we have a new puppy, and it's literally running around with a shirt in its mouth that it's not supposed to be playing with. So
what kind of dog?
She's a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
What's her name? Where's she at? I love this stuff. This is why I podcast.
This is real.
This is awesome. I love this.
Yeah, this
Dane
is one
Cook
of the
and a monkey.
Oh, I thought
one of the benefits of live, right?
Yeah.
It's slice of life.
I treat the podcast like I always treated my radio shows. So it is what it is. You listen, we have a good time, we bullshit, we hang out. And I love that you have a new puppy and you're chasing it around the house right now. This is so fucking.
Just so the audience understands how adorable and annoying she is. There we go.
Yeah, you get applause. Hey, yeah, baby. You're so beautiful today.
That's the baby.
Is that the only dog you have?
No, we have a 4-year-old Rhodesian Ridgeback my wife and I got 4 years ago. And a shelter dog named Chopper that I got. He's 10.
Yeah.
There you go.
We have four. I'm in. We have four. We have Cavaliers. We have
I might be able to answer one question, and then I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to be even more annoying since we're live. Courtney told you I have a hard out, right? Because I have a meeting right after this that I'm running to.
Yeah, I think like 30 minutes. She said like 1:30 or something like that.
Exactly. Well, 25 minutes now, actually.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Well, let me get this in, because people got to know that you've got the tour, and we're based out of Orlando. We've got a lot of Orlando listeners.
They really need to know that there's a tour. If you don't know after 34 years that I'm on a tour, then I don't know. Like, really, people should wake up from my demo, my generation, once a week and go, I wonder if Dane's on tour. Do I need to be reminded that Dane is probably on tour being funny around? God damn it.
Yeah, actually, to answer that question, Dane, I think you do, because there was a Dane Cook hiatus. And this is what I was saying. Well, hold on for a second. This is what I was saying at the beginning.
No.
You play an integral part of my career. In 2013, I was leaving Orlando. I was at a radio station called Real Radio 104.1.
I remember. Yep.
And right before I left Orlando to go to Atlanta, I want to say you were the last guest of name that I had scheduled, and you had to cancel that day for whatever reason. And I was so sad, because I'd had you on numerous times prior.
Wait, what year? Tell me the year again.
2013. It was 20. It would have been like June of 2013.
Ooh, okay. I don't know. I don't remember canceling anything, but okay. All right.
No, I'm sure it wasn't malicious. I'm just saying, I just will always remember that, because then there was kind of a gap, and you kind of shook your head about the hiatus thing, but you did kind of take you were like,
here's the thing. I never stopped doing stand-up, but all right, breaking news right now.
Mm-hmm.
I probably just said that to hype up whatever tour dates I was doing. I was like, there were so many Elton Johns that were like, that was his 5th retirement tour, that I was like, I'm going to pull that shit. I'm doing that. And so I spent like a couple of months being like, I'm putting the mic down. I was like 35. I'm like, you
Kiss
really
of
think I'm
comedy.
putting the mic down at the height of all the festivities? So no, I never stopped. I never took a hiatus. I did in 2010 to 11 when I was dealing with a lot of legal mumbo jumbo with my business manager. I did take a little bit of time off during that year, but man, no, this is 35 years since 1990. Yeah, doing stand up.
Wow. And so are you the type of comic that will just pop into, if you're in a town, I mean, just for not even working, will you just pop into a comedy club and do a set?
Not normally. Usually once I'm off the road and I'm going somewhere for leisure, then I'm not going to do the pop in. But I do get the itch every once in a while. Like my wife and I took a trip over to Europe last year, and I already knew the spots if I needed to get up. I was already like, I know we're on a vacay, but in case I need to get up. So sometimes I'll pop in, especially if I'm in New England, if I'm going back around, Boston, Rhode Island, New York, where I started. But for the most part, no, I try to schedule it and stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a singer hitting up a karaoke bar, isn't it? Got to keep the pipes fresh.
Dude, karaoke's bro. Take me to Koreatown in any city, and you're going to find me in that little karaoke joint.
All right. What's the go-to song then?
Oh, usually some Stone Temple Pilots, Plush.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. It's like anything in that like Creed, Stone Temple Pilot, where you're not really singing, you're just kind of coming from here, right? It's like pretty much all right there. You're like Bane singing any of those.
Seth MacFarlane, when he did Ted, he's got that really funny line towards the end when they're having the party. And I think like Hootie's on the TV and they're doing karaoke, and it's just, hey, I owe you. Hey, I owe you.
Is that with Flash Gordon?
Yeah, that's with the Flash Gordon. Yeah. So do you go and like back to kind of like bouncing around and maybe not jumping up and doing a set? What if you are vacationing with the fam and you see a fellow comic that you're buddies with and you're like, oh, dude, I'll go and support him. Let's go have a drink at the comedy.
I will say I have done. I don't know if I've ever overlapped where I'm like in Hawaii and somebody that I wanted to see was performing, but I have scheduled many vacations so that it's like, okay, there's a gig in Aspen and then I'm going to stay. Or Hawaii, I've done that a couple of times where it's like, all right, there's a gig and then the next night I rent something and then we're going to stay for, a week or whatever. So I do try to dovetail it when I can, but it's funny. I was talking to Kelsey about this, my wife, and I was like, I could do stand-up comedy every night. I mean, I have for the first 10 years of my career. If you look at my old schedule, and I found it, there is not a night off. I mean, every single night. And to this day, like even last night, I was like, oh, maybe I'll take a night off. And next thing you know, there's a Monday night gig that I'm like, I could work on some new stuff up there. It's just like, it's just in your blood, man. Once you're a stand-up, once you've held the mic, I know this about stand-ups, you're never not a stand-up. And the comics that I know that quit, started a family, said they couldn't hang, there isn't a conversation that you have with them years later that they're not like, I miss it, man, every day. I fiend to get back up there. I don't know if I ever will. And then there's like this constant state of like panic that you're not ever going to get back up there and do it again. So yeah, man, it's sort of like you're a junkie. Once it's in your blood, that's it. That's it. You're a comedian for life, right?
Yeah. Do you like, as the OG comic, and I mean, like you look at, again, I'm sure everybody knows this, but the success that Dane Cook has had, I mean, you were the second person next to Andrew Dice Clay to sell at the Madison Square Garden. And, just like you were everywhere and doing comedy like no one had ever seen before. You look now at the comics that have the success, the Matt Rifes and so on and so forth. And I know you're very good friends with him. But what are the differences do you see with those comics and the path to their success versus this path that you had to your success?
I guess I wouldn't say it's a negative at all, because having any kind of large, scale attention like that from your fans is awesome. But certainly the deals and the financials are a little bit more wonky and not as streamlined. When I was doing arenas, I was renting the arena. I was the promoter. There was no Live Nation. It was like I'd rent a place on a off night, Wednesday night. Yeah, do the buyout, treat it like it was like treating it like an Elks Lodge or something. You could rent out an arena for about, 40, 50, maybe 60 grand. If it was an A arena, you got the concessions, you set up the merch, you got even the parking lot, a piece of the parking lot, which now Live Nation owns the parking lot. They own the venue. They're partnered up with the arena. So the deals they're still lucrative when you're at that Matt Rife level, but probably not, dollar for dollar what I had the luxury of doing then. But I think today, like just being out on the road with Matt, the business at that high level it's crazy because nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And the bigger you are today, you have more opportunity to reach more people, because what happens is it permeates their timelines, their feeds, their social media. Whereas when I was coming up, if you weren't on my page, when I, put the tickets on sale and hit the button, you kind of were like, people would be like, who is this? Like other people would be at my show cheering and, thousands of people being like, I have no clue who this guy is, or I don't really care. And I'm sort of sick of hearing this guy's name. Now you have this opportunity to keep growing. I'm seeing it with Rife. You keep attracting more people because they're seeing the visual of this aesthetic that's hilarious, and they want to come out and see the show just based on what everybody else is doing.
You keep talking about Rife. Do you look at him like a proud papa, like just knowing that he wouldn't have a career if you weren't there first?
Dude, I really do, man. I knew him when he was a kid. I just did the Ohio shows with him. And so basically the Nationwide Arena gig in 2009, his grandmother won tickets on the radio to my show. And his grandmother randomly called a rock radio station, won the tickets, gave the tickets to Matt's mom, and she took him to see me when he was 14, 15.
15, yeah.
He wrote me a letter that night, and I will, for the sake of time, skip a lot, but he wrote me, I wrote him back. He came out to LA. We started working together. He would host or feature for me on the road. And then I just went back and was the surprise guest on his sold out show back in the very arena that he came and wrote me that letter that night saying,
was that Columbus or Cincinnati?
That was the Columbus gig. Yeah, that was Nationwide in Columbus. And it was one of the most, the show was unbelievable. We blew the doors off the place. He's incredible in front of those large crowds. You don't know until you're in the room where you're like, wow, he's really holding this place in a way that you can't explain. How you hold a balcony of people when you're just conversing is, that's something else. You got to see it to believe it. But to go back, do that gig, I put it up there in one of my top 5 most emotional comedic moments, because we were doing the encore together. We're reading the letter. He's got the letter that he wrote me when he was a kid. I saved it. I still had it.
Wow.
So for a number of reasons, man, it's like being able to sort of like have a do-over, hang out, do these large scale gigs with him, live vicariously through him, but at the same time, seeing sort of like where he's taking the art form and some of the things that he has in the pipeline that I would never have thought of doing. But he's got his finger on the pulse.
Yeah, I've always been, that's why I'm a fan of yours, and I've always have been, is I'm a fan of storytelling, even from the radio or podcasting, whatever the fuck I'm doing now, that side of things, so for your style of storytelling. And, I've always said that what's funny is the funniest things are the most real things, the most obvious things, the most simplistic things that you just don't realize that are funny. You have always, that's your thing, is you point those things out. I'm also a fan of crowd work. To me, that if you go up every night, that's not planned. You have to be focused and witty. I'm friends with Ian Bagg, who I think is one of the best crowd working comics in existence. But Rife, that's his thing. When I watch his videos and his shows, I've never seen him live. I'm going, dude, to be able to be that focused every night and be able to have funny one-liners and make fun of people that in a cancel culture world would get you canceled, but people are laughing because they know there's no malice in your heart. That's superhero shit. Superhero shit. How he does it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like watching the Jeff Garlands over the years that come up with an entire routine on the spot. You know, a guy like David Brenner, who back in the day was the same way. You know, the thing with Matt is he only posts the clips of the crowd work, but it's not a crowd work show. It's like he's got his 55 minutes of material. Then he tags on like 15 to 20 of just some stuff that he'll do off the cuff. And I think sometimes people give him a little bit of crap for it, but I will say this, because like I heard Mike Birbiglia the other day, who I'm a big fan of. I love his podcast, but he was kind of, you know, poo-pooing on crowd work and low-hanging fruit. And it's like, man, I think that, like, if anything, it harkens back to everything from Second City to Groundlings, to be able to, you know, think on your toes. It's not, you know, I understand there's some people that sort of like just go right for, you know, easy, you know, maybe like rude retorts against people in the crowd. But I think a lot of crowd work is like showing it's an instrument, and you're showing somebody, not only can I be funny with the well-crafted material, but I can find, you know, inroads and callbacks and clever correspondence like in front of 15, 20,000 people. That's, you know, that's and get a big laugh that everybody's on board with. I mean, to me, I feel like it's just another tool in your arsenal. I love real estate comics, you know, verbal real estate. You know, every word is you know, an acre or a you know, square foot. But no, I think that crowd work, and when done properly and mixed with the rest of a well put together routine, I think it makes you more dynamic. I think it makes you an even more interesting specimen to watch perform. So for all those reasons, I love doing it. I've always implemented it into my routine, and I like watching guys like Matt Rife get up there and he slays for his hour, and then he kind of plays around, and they like that as well. They like you know, realizing the show is for us. What's happening right now is happening only tonight for us, and it's going to be something different in the next city. It's not going to be some formulaic same, you know, 55 minutes on the button. Some people look at that as a little bit long in the tooth and sort of like passe, and they want to see something that's happening, you know, in the room right now, and he's providing that.
As a fan, it's nice to see a professional that gets up and they're prepared to do their craft and they're doing it really well. It's amazing to see that same professional off the cuff and go, wow, they really are just that funny. They don't need to prepare. They're just funny people.
And by the way, sometimes, you know, sometimes it goes belly up, and it's, you know, it languishes, or it can be like, I've seen comics where it always goes rude. It's funny, growing up in Boston, it always went rude. I was talking to years ago, Burr, myself, Patrice, we realized in Boston coming up, your improv would start off with like, you know, somebody yells something in the crowd. Next thing you know, you're sort of bantering, but they're a little drunk. Most of the time, the comic might be a little drunk. And then everything always ended up your ass at one point or another. You'd be like, you're gonna go home tonight. You're gonna take the remote control. You're too drunk to hit the buttons. You're drunk. It goes up your ass. It was like, that used to be the crowd work. It was blah, blah, blah. And then it was up your ass. So I like to think that certain, you know, comics over the years have taken all elements of stand-up to places in the never been done before business. And it's exciting when you're watching somebody who's really, really keen, who can do it like Matt Rife and make it all work, and then tie it together with the routine that he brought as well. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
And by the way, I keep talking about Matt. It's like my hour, when people come see what I'm doing, the hour plus now, I feel like I'm in some, it's two things happening at once that I've worked on for about 2 years, which is, it's very throwback to Retaliation era, where it's stories with a lot of energy, a lot of different, you know, sort of like the movement with the vernacular. But then there's almost like a seminar element that I wanted to add to my stand-up over the years, which I want people to sort of see it to believe it, but it kind of goes against the grain. You've got the routine that I'm doing, and then come see me do this against the grain commentary that I've packed in with it. And I think the platform that I'm on right now is sort of like the best of in terms of what I love doing up there and what I know my fans love, coupled with something that is in some territory that I don't think a lot of people have danced in, which is there's a bit of a, I keep wanting to say like a seminar. I'll let you guys see it and sort of like coin it, but there's a bit of a seminar quality, not in a maudlin, way too serious sort of way, but just in a very fun, a little bit caustic, a little bit out there, and it all ties together. It's been working the last couple of years, and I can't wait for people to see what the new special is going to be that I'm going to film at the end of this tour.
Do you
like a Dane Cook TED Talk?
Dane Cook.
It's I mean, it's different.
We just coined it.
It's something that I think is new, but I think if you've seen a lot of my shows, it definitely plays into what I know people love about what I love reveling in. When you see me happy up there and you see me sort of dancing in the new material that I have, especially the last 6 months, things that I put in there, it's I have never had so many other comedians, even comedians that I know may not necessarily be like the biggest fans of what I do, have approached me after my shows at the Comedy Store recently and around town, and are like almost like confessing. They're like, dude, that this thing you're doing right now, it's like, congratulations, man. It's like you've hit another tier, and I feel it, so I can share it without, I can say it. You might say live, it's a little bit arrogant. Well, I have to do it. So it's like, I can say it, but if I don't deliver on it when you come see the show, then you can kick me in the mouth. But for now, I'm saying, come see one of the best shows you've ever seen me put together.
Do you ever, again, the different world like than 20 years ago, especially, when you were coming up in the ranks in comedy, you're like, this is the type of comic I am. But now when you have that platform and you have something to say politically, dealing with the world, that's not your shtick, by the way.
Right.
But do you struggle not wanting to go there in the least little bit?
I don't really struggle with it because I don't like the vitriol that goes with having to like plant a flag, whether it's politically or something that most people are, off stage away from the show. If it's an issue or an element that I feel like is stressing people out in society, whether you're stressed at the other side or how you feel, I don't enjoy those conversations on stage. Off stage, I really love sort of delineating and devil's advocating and trying to figure out like how I feel based on smarter people around me. But my whole shtick is like, I just want people to come in, and comedy is comedy. Comedy should be like, I'm coming in to laugh my ass off and not be told my opinion suddenly is wrong, sitting in a room full of people where I'm feeling defensive and like, I just, that's not my jam. It's never been. So I want people to come out and have a great time, get away from all that stuff for a little bit. And if I do feel like I have something to say, I'd rather come on a great podcast and share it, like where we can, get into the minutia here, rather than try to figure out how can I make half the crowd not like me for the next 10 minutes and the other half be even happier that I'm speaking just to their, perspective. That's not what I'm into.
Yeah. It would be kind of tough, I would imagine. And I know you got to go, but it'd be tough. Like if you're saying one thing, like you were to come back and we would talk about, the horrible thing that happened to Charlie Kirk or whatever you feel. And then when you're out, people are like, well, I heard you on that podcast. I know that's the way you think, even though you don't do it in that set. You're still polarizing the audience. I'm very pro polarization because I think polarization brings unity and strength, at least to a sect aside.
Yeah. Well, how do you make funny the simple notion that regardless of how I feel about whatever you're saying, the reality is in this country, you shouldn't be murdered for speaking your truth.
Right.
You have the opportunity to just stand up, turn around, and walk away. So I don't know how I'll work on it, but if I can make that funny and interesting and make both sides go,
good luck.
Let's all agree on that. It's like, hey, listen. And also too, it's like, there's so many, the Daily Show is where you're going to want to go first. And nobody's thinking like, oh, let me go to a stand-up comedy club to hear news of the day. You're going to want to like watch a Colbert monologue or the Daily Show, and nobody's going to say it funnier than that writing staff and that incredible, talented talking head. So I wouldn't even think about really tackling monologue humor in a stand-up comedy routine. I want to work on something for a year, and when you come finally see it, you're going to leave there going, man, I feel like I have abs, and I feel tired from laughing my ass off with an old friend now for, over an hour.
All right. I know you got to go, but just real quick, answer this just one word question. Is that
one word? Oh boy.
Well, it's what Dane Cook movie can you watch over and over again and not get sick of Dane Cook?
My own movie?
Yeah.
Oh boy. If I had one. Okay, wait a second, because sometimes I'll come home and I turn on the TV and something's on somewhere.
Oh, look, it's me.
Yeah, all right. It's me. Oh my God, I had a darker beard back then. That looked kind of cool. I wish I could grow that. I think whenever Mr. Brooks is on, my experience working with William Hurt, Kevin Costner, Demi Moore, my first, real foray into drama, and the movie reminds me of so many days on set with those incredibly prolific people, learning from them, learning the craft. And I think that movie, although the comedies, especially the Lionsgate era that I call it, like the 5 to 8 movies I did with Lionsgate, a lot of fun. They stand the test of time. A lot of them are still circulating on streaming, but I do drama today. I have a more interesting career than a pigeonholed career because of Mr. Brooks. Every once in a while, like something real gritty comes along. And when a Brian Fuller or somebody hits me up and says, do you want to come play in our sandbox? It's always because they saw, I saw Mr. Brooks. I've always thought you could do, that stuff. I grew up loving the Robin Williams and the comics that could sort of like delve into drama or Good Will Hunting, movies like that. So I do feel like that part, some of the things I have coming up too are, I do have a comedy coming up, but some of the film work I'm doing definitely is leaning even further into sort of that dark and just characters that I never thought I'd have the chance to play. So I'd probably have to go with Brooks. But what do you guys say?
Oh, easy. Employee of the month. I love that.
Employee of the month. Yeah. Comedy-wise, that's got to be it.
Love that. And
good luck, Chuck. Really?
Yeah.
I'm a dude, man. I like all the boobies. Low-hanging fruits. All of it.
All right.
Good luck, Chuck. It's a lot of fun, man. But Employee of the Month, I got to go. I got to go with that because I still feel like it's one of those flicks that, like, I grew up loving. There's a movie called Meatballs. It was all about summer camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So, and it was sort of mindless, but you felt like it just had a lot of heart, and the people that made it had a lot of fun. And I remember as a kid watching it, and even as I got older, it gets worse as it ages. It's just like so many parts of it just don't work. Mm-hmm. And the reality is, now that I watch Employee of the Month, and I'm 15 years later, I'm like, okay, a lot of it still works. It reminds me of Meatballs. It's got a good heart. And I do think to this day that when I look at that moment, that movie was before some real gnarly shit happened in my life. My parents had gotten sick. Everything after that moment got a little bit more life got very real. But that was like the reward for the almost 15 years of stand-up. And I got to have a leading man moment. I never thought my big fat Irish head would get a leading man moment, but there I was. And so I'd have to go with that for comedy, just because of the goodwill and all the love that was around me at that point before things got a little bit topsy-turvy.
Well, it kind of allowed the viewer to do what we've always wanted to do. You grow up, you're like, oh man, I wonder if I could stay the night at the toy store or the mall. And then, you're sitting there, on the pallets and you're eating and you're hanging out at the, I think
and my buddy, and I have to shout out Harlan Williams was in that. I got Harlan in the movie. I always try to throw my comedian buddies in there. Every movie I did, there's some comics. If you look either, even if they're sort of like in the background or one line, but Harlan got a pretty good role in that. Man, we laughed a lot. We both come up through the ranks and stand up, did a lot of gigs in LA together. And then there we were, there was a few times we'd be sitting on the set and we just look at each other. We're movie stars, baby. And it was like, may not last very long, but for the moment we were in it, it was like better than being on the road at some, B- club where you're like, oh, when's the next big thing coming along? We got to really revel in it. And I'm glad it stands the test of time, and that I don't get embarrassed when those movies play. The good news is I'm not like, oh, why did I do it? I have a couple like that, but luckily they don't ever air. But the ones that do, I'm glad that we can still sit here and appreciate them. That's not bad. I'll take it.
Yeah, my wife and I are go-tos. You know, if there's certain movies that we'll go to, that's one of them. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, so we'll sit there and recite and just laugh. And, you know, like
I love it.
I'm a big Vince Vaughn guy, and I love his style of comedy, the repetition of a certain buzzword in the comedy. You know, so Couples Retreat is such an underrated comedy.
So I mean, even like The Breakup, I know it got like a lot of crap back because it was too serious, but like I will tell you one last thing before I jump, which is I was backstage in LA 2005, 2006, like prime time Vince Vaughn, and I'm like really hitting my stride. And I'm backstage and I'm waiting to go up at this place that's no longer here called Dublin's. Dublin's was an Irish pub on Sunset, and they'd have a free Tuesday night show upstairs that everybody came to. You name every A-list star, musician. It was the spot in the country, was Dublin's on a Tuesday night. And I'm in this back hallway where sometimes people would sneak out, have a cigarette. And Vince Vaughn is out there having a smoke. And I'm just him and I. And I'm getting ready to go up. And he walks up and he's like, you're next? And I said, yeah. He came up and by the way, I'm 6'1". He's like 6'5". So he's towering over me. And he grabs me by the shoulders as the host is about to say my name. And he gives me a pep talk as his character from Swingers.
Oh, your money,
all I remember as he was rocking me back and forth, he's like, you're the peanut butter and the jelly, baby. You're the chips on the side of the plate. You get a Dixie cup filled with the Kool-Aid, and you're gonna go out there, baby. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do the thing. You're gonna be the peanut butter and the jelly. You're gonna eat the crust. The crust is not gonna come off. You're gonna eat the crust. You're gonna eat the Lay's potato chips, baby. You're the whole plate. You're the picnic table. And he gave me a pep talk as Trent before he smacked me so hard on the ass, I still feel it. And he goes, your money, baby. Go get him. Your money.
Oh,
and that's what I heard as I was walking to the stage.
God.
From the hallway yelling your money as my ass was stinging from the he has a big hand, that man.
Dude, Dane, I would give my 401k to have Vince Vaughn talk to me. That's how much I love that man.
It was chef's kiss, man. Next time we come on, I'll be more prepared from the jump. And I'll give you, let's do this for the next chat. Top 5 backstage stories.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Will you green light? Can I text your sister and stay in touch with her?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But next time, give her the cheat sheet and be like, it's live. Remind him it's live. Have his camera ready. And give Courtney all the 411 so that I can be better prepared. And thank you guys for rolling with me. I'm sure the dog is ripping up an entire couch in this house right now. So I'm going to go deal with that.
You're good, dude. Love you, brother. I'm going to reach out and hopefully we'll get you back on. I hope you had a good time. It was good seeing you again, talking to you again, and best of luck with, the thing. And I'm going to try to get to your show in Orlando too. So.
Let me know about Orlando. I think if you've seen me on any Florida runs, Orlando, this is not hype. I'm not pumping it up. Always killer gigs in Orlando, always and forever. And it's why I come back every other tour, because my Florida runs are fantastic. And Orlando is always probably in top 10 when I finish up, 30, 40, 50 tour dates in a year. I always look back and go, man, Orlando is just something about that region. So I look forward to people coming out, have a great time, see the new stuff before I film the special, and we'll do top 5 backstage moments next time we chat.
Yeah. All right, brother. Take care. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you,
guys.
All right. See you later.
All right.
Later. Bye-bye. Later. Dane Cook, ladies and gentlemen. Love that man. Absolutely love that man.
I held myself back from forcing the question I wanted to ask him because I knew he had to go and I didn't want to interrupt conversation.
Well, I thought you asked it. That's why I was giving
No. I had one question that I really wanted to ask, but again, it just didn't fit what we were talking about.
I'll answer.
I want to know what he would consider his signature move as a comedian. Like when people approach him on the street, what's the biggest thing that people hit you with from your stand-up? Like, what is your signature phrase?
Which you're known for, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of choices, but what's the one that he gets hit with the most?
Well, we'll have him back on. When people like that say they had a good time and they want to come back on.
Oh yeah, I believe them.
They mean it.
Yeah. I want to go to a show. Let's go to a show.
this little podcast getting a guest that want to come back on. What's happening there? What's going on? Dane Cook, by the way, it was funny because like I was trying to do the whole, intro and the shows and all that stuff, but he just like, just fucking go to danecook.com. Let's talk about something else, which I absolutely love, by the way.
Yeah.
Dane Cook. So if you are a two-pier in Jersey, Atlantic City, the Borgata, October 3rd, then he's at the Seminole Hard Rock in Tampa on October 16th. And then he comes to Orlando at the Hard Rock Live. That's actually how this whole thing got set up. So thank you to my friends at the Hard Rock Live here in Orlando. That's October 17th. And then he's at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, making his horseshoe around the state. That's October 18th. And then he's at Treasure Island Resort and Casino, October 24th. But he's got a bunch of dates. If you go to danecook.com, I didn't see any Georgia dates. I know we have a big audience in Georgia, but I didn't see any Georgia dates. I would have put those in there. I don't want to isolate you guys just because I'm living in Florida now. And I would have let you know. But anyway, that's pretty cool.
Come to Orlando.
Yeah, you guys come to Orlando. We'll all go to the show together. So I'll work on getting tickets for us, and we'll do that. All right. Before we get out for this episode, let me get your what the fuck video.
What the fuck?
As always, pay very close attention. These are quick like.
This jacket, Meredith, to my mom. This is...
Applause?
Oh, that hurt, dude.
Yeah.
Ow. Like my knee is literally swelling just from watching that video.
Say it again.
Yeah, one more time.
You were like, yeah, let's see it again.
This jacket, Meredith, to my mom. This is...
That is the worst luck ever, dude.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Ow. Hyperextensions are not fun.
Like, share, follow on all social media. The BPX, 3 different shows, 5 days a week. I hope you're listening to all of them. The whole idea is to replace the either bad content or no content that you might have on a daily basis, like i.e. a morning show in your city. So you just make sure you are following us, like on Spotify, especially Spotify, but any platform. If you're just wanting the audio, the other one's Apple and Google and iHeart and all those things. But for video wise, Spotify, the free episodes also up on the YouTube channel. You can go to @The Bailey Show on YouTube and find all the good stuff. Anyway, so Monday, Honey, I Raised the Kids. It's a free episode. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's the BS. Wednesdays, of course, free episodes. Tuesdays and Thursdays are for subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, please become one. You're missing out on a lot of good content, especially past content, future content. JasonBailey.com. You can subscribe there. Then Friday, the Vinyl Road podcast with me and Brad Stewart of Saliva. We had Elise Zavala on last week. She's a lead singer for Lilac. They're one of the bands that they're on tour with. You've got to hear this girl's story. I mean, not only is she a rock star and she's a cool rock star, but she's a hacker.
Like, freaking brilliant mind.
One of 1,600 people in the world that has the green light to hack. You have to hear her story. It is, and she's a rock star at night. She's a hacker during the day. She's a rock star at night. Never heard, even thought about anything like that before. So that was Friday's episode.
She is Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, Vinyl Road podcast. Very, very cool. And please share the content. That's how the audience gets bigger. You know, I mean, you can repost now on Instagram, which is very helpful. But the more people get to hear, the better for us, obviously. Thanks to all of our great sponsors, especially Once Upon a Coconut, onceuponacoconut.com. If you go onceuponacoconut.com and you check out, use the discount code BSPodcast10 and you can save some geetuses. All right. There, the Bald Badger. You got anything before we get out?
In honor of Dane, welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
All right. Remember, if you're going to be doing some drinking, I understand. I get it. If you had too much, please not get behind the wheel of a car and or post. I'm adding that. Post on social media. I've lost way too many friends like that, right? You know what I'm talking about? Wink, wink, wink. All right. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. And bye.
Thanks for listening. Till next time, check out thebaileyshow.com. Make sure you like, share, follow on all socials. I leave you with these parting words.
Never got a pink slip either. You know what I would get? a guy would come around to my desk and say, "Get the fuck out of here!"
What do we want to talk about?
3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 feed, details, and to subscribe, jasonbailey.com.